Hi everyone, it's Desiree. I hope you're all having a wonderful day and welcome. I am so glad that you have taken just a little bit of time to stop by. Not that my videos are a little bit of time, but you know, hey, here's open. So what we're going to do, you can see, we're not going to make this, but this is going to show what we're going to make. One of the things that we're going to see more, again, love paper. Paper is a wonderful medium with all the things that I've ever said that we can do with it and more. We're going to, this year, we're really going to be exploring journals and how they can change and morph and all that fun stuff. I feel sometimes we get stuck in a rut. Okay, journals got to be this size and we've got to do, you know, these measurements and all of that. And lately I've been seeing these journals that are different sizes. And one of the ones that really intrigued me is a tall, skinny journal. And it was Tracy. Tracy Fox loves journals. She had shown that in one of her kits and just really loved it. So I thought this size is perfect for 12 by 12 pattern papers. And the reason why I thought it was perfect is if we use, now by all means we can use 12 by 12 in any size journal, but we're cutting into it. We're cutting it into different shapes, different sizes. And when it comes to 12 by 12, they're larger pieces of paper, obviously. And you'll see that in a minute, because this is going to be kind of like the introduction of what's to come. Okay, so yep, we're not making anything in this video. So if you don't want to see this video because nothing's being made, wait for the next one. Just saying. But I want to explain what we're going to be doing here. So this journal here I made. This journal measures 11 by 4.5. Okay, that's the cover. So 11 by 4.5. And there's a reason why I went with 11. And again, this will all be explained. With our 12 by 12 papers, we can sometimes get these beautiful prints. So if I get to the center of this journal, let me find it. Again, I do like chunky style journals. You can make it any width that you want. This is one of the layouts when it comes to 12 by 12. You have this beautiful scene. Why lose that? If we cut it down, yes, we don't have this, but if I cut it down to a normal size or the regular, what could be a regular size, you know, usually we'll do it like 8 1/4 or, you know, 8 1/2 by the 4 1/2. So if I take this ruler to 8 1/2, we're cutting right here, right along this top. So everything below the ruler, this whole sentiment piece would come down into here and cover up this most adorable image there. Even if we took this and brought it down over here, we're going into the presents, the lantern. So we lose, again, I am all about real estate. Need to have real estate. As I'm fluctuating that ruler, and I apologize. So with this, it's one signature. It's sewn with a 5-hole pamphlet when it comes to that. But things can get into different sizes. The 12 by 12 pattern paper works because of the length of it. The pattern papers work. Now here is a piece of coffee dyed paper. If we take a regular 8 1/2 by 11 piece of paper and fold it in half, it's 11 by 4 1/4. It fits perfectly in this journal. Now we could also take our cover and make our cover 11.5. So we would only be losing a 1/2 inch along the top of our 12 by 12 pattern paper, which is awesome. Now again, I'm cutting it to 9, so we're going to have that 3-inch strip. Our 3-inch strips are perfect for elongated tags. Wonderful journaling spot, adds character to the top of our books because, again, we all create differently. That's the beauty of this world. I like things popping out, sticking out, fluffing out, hanging over, hanging down. I love all of the extra bits that just come out around from the journal. And I do like a lot of journaling space when it comes into the journal as well. And whether or not you can be able, you know, here pictures can be added. Here we can be written on. And again, it's an odd shape. So what you're writing can fit beautifully inside. Pockets. Again, the pattern paper works. Now, a lot of our collections have not only 12 by 12, but 6 by 6 and cut aparts. And Paper Rose is one of those companies that has really done that. Absolutely love it. The majority of their collections, or all of their collections, have a 12 by 12 and a 6 by 6 paper pad, which is perfect. Now what they're doing is not only do you have a 12 by 12 and a 6 by 6, they're doing cut aparts, they're doing fussy cuts, all of these wonderful things that can add to the element. And this collection here had that. I believe it was called the Enchanted Garden when it came to this. I loved the colors, loved the purples and the blues and the greens going all through this. Still added the different elements, but we can have a super tall pocket and get large tags in here. And again, just by using that pattern paper and cutting it down. Now, this was cut down and put onto white cardstock to have journaling in the back. You don't have to do that. All right, these are journaling cards. Again, just using the larger 12 by 12 papers, matting them onto cardstock that's similar, and adding one of the cut aparts. Tags, same thing. I love adding metal findings throughout the journal. These are just pieces of pattern paper that I've hole punched a lot of scrap cardstock, used it. I've now created my own chipboard piece here, which now becomes a charm. It doesn't have to be a bead. It can still stay with the paper. Here's another of the large tags. And again, lots of fluff that comes up and out over the edge of the journal. We have some envelopes here using some doilies, some parchment paper. Here's our center. And again, we've got this beautiful image that can go across it. Different size papers, use the 6 by 6 papers in here as well, and just had fun. Here's the belly band, 12 by 12. We can take a belly band from the top to the bottom, and I created a little notepad here with some of these scraps that were left over. And that just tucks right in there. Again, a bag to hold some items, another 3 pocket for tags, another tall tag. Yes, I even work in odd numbers on that. And then our back, where we can just have fun adding our papers, adding photos, and so forth. Okay, so that's what we're going to play with. We're not going to create this one, but we're going to play with a 12 by 12 pad along with its 6 by 6 paper pad, and we're going to create a tall, skinny style journal. Let's call it that. In the next video. Not sure how the series will break down, but it will be a series. I mean, I can't do one in one video. I mean, I can, but you all would hate me. when it comes to that length. I mean, we're already about 10 minutes in. The pieces that I'm going to be using, or the paper pads that I'm going to be using, are by Paper Rose, and they're called Artsy Print. These are beautiful prints. Again, this is what I like. Again, but you can use any 12 by 12 pattern paper that you have, and any 6 by 6 paper collection that you have. These two just happen to mesh together. What I'll do is I'm going to do a quick flip through on each. Paper Rose's 12 by 12s come with 12 sheets. They are double-sided. I mean, even your covers can be used. I mean, you can cut these down into journaling cards. This could be a belly band strip. They do tend to put something on the back of that. So here there's all kinds of sentiments that we can use throughout to fit the color scheme. This is just a very bold print when it comes to a collection. But it's just gorgeous. So nice checkered there. I mean, and I'm already looking at the papers and taking them and saying, okay, what would this look like if it's folded? Two beautiful looks on it. That's the other side. Great distress going on here. Bold image here. And again, we won't be using all of these, but we are going to decide, okay, which one's going to be the cover, which one's going to be our center. So again, if I fold this in half, again, getting that idea. Look at that. Oh, it's just beautiful on how it can look. And again, now this one's going to cause me to say, okay, I want to cut it here and here. When it comes to it, to have this image flow across. But again, scraps are perfect for tags, for collaging, and getting that. And now we have the repeat. So that's what's great too. You get a repeat of all of the prints, but they are just absolutely gorgeous. So you can get 2 journals when it comes to that. And then here are your repeats. Beautiful cards. And then that is the back of that. Oh my God, just gorgeous. All right. So that is the 12 by 12 collection. And again, it's called Artsy Print. And then here is the 6 by 6. Again, these pieces here can be used. Now their 6 by 6 comes with 18 double-sided pattern papers, and you get 3 of each of the 12 designs. All right. That's always plain, so that's good. I mean, to use that as a belly band and have fun with it. So I'm going to open this up because you can see the repeat of the pattern. Here we go. So we have this one, and there's that in a smaller print. We have that, and there's that one in the smaller print. That. So your 6 by 6, you're taking the patterns and you're shrinking them down. Okay, now this one doesn't have the journaling cards in them. Yes, it does. Here it is. So you even have these as well. These are going to make awesome charms when it comes to this journal. So awesome, awesome charms. And this is going to be a great background for those charms. So I'm glad that I have multiples of these, because when I do my charms, this will be the front and then this will be the back of them to get that monochrome look to it. Okay, so that's the collection that we're going to use. Am I going to pull in items outside of this? Of course. You know, dig into your stash. Not going to add too many laces. I don't know if I'm going to do any sewing. I did no sewing throughout this one. I dug into my stash for the sentiment. This is also by Paper Rose. And then some spare pieces that I had in my die cuts. And then I just added some glue and some glitter to that when it came to this. But I did not sew throughout the journal. So I don't know if I'm going to do that with this one. Again, kind of go by the feel. And what I'm looking to do when it comes to the collections. So that's what's going to be upcoming. All right, very soon. So probably shortly after I have this posted, you will see the first part, which always starts with, let's line up our papers. Let's look at how we're going to lay them out. I know I'm crinkling something while I'm talking. I'm sorry. Lining up our papers, cutting them down, pulling from our stash for more papers. I will always add coffee dyed papers to my journals, add some other drawing papers and all kinds of different stuff, book pages, and so forth. So that is what we're going to do. I hope you'll come back, see what this turns out, and let's have some fun, guys. All right? So I will link down to this collection if it is still available. What's awesome news is you can get these collections, of course, from Paper Rose. Remember, they are an Australian company, but they do ship worldwide. You can also find collections for Paper Rose on scrapbook.com. Simon Says Stamp, and now Spellbinders. So I think that's wonderful that we have options as to where we can get our Paper Rose collection. So not all of them are everywhere, but of course Paper Rose carries every single one. So I will have it linked below. Again, use what you have. I'm sure we have 12 by 12 papers. I'm sure we have 6 by 6, and you can mix and match. You don't have to use the same ones. Have fun with what goes together from your stash. If you have any questions, make sure you leave those down below. And by all means, guys, subscribe. Love to have you here. Hit that thumbs up, ring the bell so that you're notified. Hopefully YouTube does that. You know, there's always hoping. Woohoo! But most of all, enjoy. Let's have some fun. We're going to create together and create a beautiful journal that you can write your thoughts in, your memories, or just make lists. Who doesn't love to make lists? But enjoy this process. Don't get stressed. Don't get frustrated. Do what works best for you and what you enjoy when you're creating your art. And most of all, always remember, be creative, guys, in everything that you do and every day. And I'll talk to you in the next one. Till then, take care.